Hello, I'm Jacob. You're watching the Preppers Bunker Outdoors. Today we're here to talk about fitness for preppers. We're going to talk about, in my opinion, the #1 most important exercise and the one that is most likely accessible to all of my viewers financially. I have friends and fellow preppers who are paraplegic and have other injuries where this will not be applicable to you, but at the end of the video I will talk about some things you can do besides this, and there are things that you can do in conjunction to this as well, and things that I do. But if you are the vast majority of preppers or people, this is something you'll be able to do, and it involves that hill right there. Yeah, we're going to talk about running. Now, the preppers fitness, this is about mindset and about getting fit with an end goal of emergency survival. All right, so it is a little bit different. It's not about looking good. It's not about anything else. It is about living. If you want to see the intro to this video and a little bit about mindset and about the mindset of fitness from a strength perspective only and fitness from a cardio perspective only, check out this link here. I just did this intro. I have experience with only doing either of those, and they could both, by themselves, get you killed. And so the perspective that I'm coming from, I have experience with doing either one. I have experience doing them together. I have experience as competing as an athlete in the military with combat exercises and requirements, and excelling at that. And I experienced inability with just doing cardio, and I experienced damage and injury with just doing the weightlifting. So today we're going to get right back into running. Why? If you are in an emergency right now, there is a high likelihood that if you have to move, you're going to have to move from one point to another with what you have on right now, with what you're wearing right now, and you probably have to do it quickly, and it might be a little longer than you're comfortable with, all right? So the ability to run is paramount. Now, this hill behind me is incredibly steep. I'm going to show you some B-roll here of how long this hill is. I took it from my car because I don't have the ability to get good footage while I'm running. I don't have a mount or anything for my body, and also because I'm not running up and down the hill 350 times with a tripod to get shots that make it look like I'm running up the hill all in one shot. I'm not doing any of that. So here you're seeing the footage from the car. I'm going to be running up this hill, and I'm going to do some other things I'm going to talk to you about that are very important. The first one is going to be get running shoes and try your best to get ones that fit your feet. Talk to a running shoe store specialist so that you don't end up wasting money on a bad pair of shoes like I did when I joined the military and bought a pair of Nike Shox and basically almost died. So get good running shoes. Do not run regularly without running shoes. But the next thing that we're going to talk about here is going to come after this run, so I'll be right back. A quick note that I forgot to mention in the intro of this video. I am doing this video because I'm getting back into shape, hopefully specifically for running and cardio. A year and 3 days ago, I broke my ankle in 3 places. I couldn't get out of bed for 2 months. I couldn't walk for about 6. Afterwards, I re-injured some of my previous injuries from the military and from my deployment. And so I am starting at a very low level. So when you watch this video, first off, the camera makes me look better than I actually do. I'm not a big person, but I've also become rather flabby, and my body just doesn't work right anymore. So in the military, there are people that I looked down on because of their run times. And why that's important is in the military, your fitness is 80% of your responsibility of your job. 80% of it's fitness. And so when people were really, really bad because they refused to have a good lifestyle and they refused to put forth the effort, they typically also were not good soldiers. And I was a leader, and I hoped that they would not be my soldiers, okay? I am below almost any of them at this point. I am in such bad shape. So I don't want you to think that I am a fitness guy who's trying to motivate you by saying that you can be as good as me and look how good I am. Instead, this is me trying to get better, trying to improve myself, and hoping that in the process I can help you do the same. All right, I just got up and down that hill, and I will tell you it was ugly and it was slow, a little painful, but I did not stop. But today I'm only gonna do one trip up that hill, and that's going to segue me directly into the next portion of this video, which is going to be a little bit of side load and sprints and some other stuff, because we're gonna try and get back on this fitness train quicker rather than slower. So where we're going to segue to from that hill run that was so ugly, it's probably only 1/8 of a mile, but it is steep. I only did it once. Distance, is important for fitness, for cardiovascular, and sprinting may be more important immediately, but to get your body in shape, get your body working, distance is important, and I'm not to the point where I can do that yet. But I am at the point where I can do other stuff. Although my ankle has a lot of problems, although my body is not working right yet, I can sprint. And one of the things that's very important to do is on this hill, which I'm about to show you, we'll do some sections of sprinting loaded on one side or the other, or together. We're gonna do some sprints. And this is another reason why I love the Brute Force bag, is it's so versatile. I can use this thing on basically every day of the week, whether I'm doing cardio or weights or anything else. This thing can become a vital part of that. And so that is going to be the next part of what I do for this run, to give you an idea of other things that you can do for running besides going out and just pounding pavement for an hour or 2 hours. That's not necessary, especially to get you started. That's a good way to injure yourself. We're gonna work up to that point, but at the end of the day, the point of prepper fitness is being hard to kill. Keep that in mind. It doesn't matter if the enemy is a tornado or a communist parachuting in, or a flood, or zombies, or an earthquake. Be hard to kill. That involves movement. Whether you're shooting or whether you're just in a bad spot, get off the X and keep moving. So let's get to this next little section that's going to kind of tie together this workout from a few different angles. So I'm focusing first and most of my reps on trying to sprint with this weight on one side or the other. The reason being, in my experience, as is supported by other bodies of testing and science and whatever, the single-sided or the unbalanced exercise is going to do a lot more for building up the strength of your core. Honestly, that's what a lot of this is about, and that was the problem. When I was lifting heavy, even though I was doing deadlifts heavy and everything, I wasn't doing deadlifts heavy enough to really build up my lower back well enough. And with all the extra weight of just existing, I kept throwing out my lower back over and over and over again. And what really strengthened my lower back and helped me to start competing and getting into shape was stuff like this. All right, so I'm gonna focus on offloading on one side or the other. If you do this too much, too extreme, too much weight, you're gonna hurt yourself. Again, in my opinion, one of the huge benefits to a sandbag like this, if it's too heavy, dump some sand out. If you're ready for more weight, put more weight in. My wife has the exact same sandbag. She's got about 15 or 20 pounds in it. I think I've got about 35 or 40 based on what I had in the bag when I was pouring it. I'll actually weigh them at some point, but I don't really care about the numbers. All right, so carrying to one side or the other, more important than the sprints with it in the center. But in the center, in my opinion, is still good. You're not using your arms to get the balance like you normally would. You're just moving those legs. Still good exercise, but again, I'm gonna focus on one side or the other. I'm sure that I've forgotten a lot. If you have more questions, absolutely feel free to ask them in the comments section below. The last thing that I'm going to bring to your attention, again, always wear running shoes when you're doing exercises or you're going to injure yourself. And that's the opposite of what you want to do. But the rest of your gear, it may be prudent to wear as a prepper what you would normally wear. For me, that means a pistol. It normally means 2 extra magazines, knife, wallet, tourniquet, usually a ferro rod, phone. All right. So besides the shoes, I'm basically wearing what I would normally wear. Well, guess what? You know, you train as you fight. You've heard that. If I'm in an emergency and I have to get out of Dodge, what am I going to be wearing? Whatever I'm wearing at the moment. What am I going to be carrying? Whatever I'm carrying at the moment. So when you think of running, I don't want you to think about the scrawny little dude wearing the little shorts that I call ranger panties with his weenie flopping all over the place and he looks like he weighs about 110 pounds wet. That's not the goal here. Running's not going to kill your gains, but if you run like that guy, you're going to look like that guy. But in defense of that guy, real quick, getting to the point where he's at took an incredible amount of work and dedication. And you don't have to worry about getting to that point unless you have that amount of dedication to get to his goal, which if you're watching this video, you don't. So this is not about body types. This is about getting out, challenging yourself, getting your sweat on. And, you know, you need running shoes. Gotta have running shoes. Don't spend 50 bucks like I normally do. Try and get $80, $100 shoes. And like I said, go to a running shop and ask them which shoes are going to be best for your feet. Hopefully they can give you good information on that. So all the links to how you can support this channel are going to be in the description box below. And I'm not going to put in the description box below, but do also check out Brute Strength Training. I hope you enjoyed this video. Upcoming videos, more absolutely vital exercises that every prepper should be doing, and internet sources that you can trust. Look, I don't expect me to be the be-all end-all. I will never be the be-all end-all. I probably won't even be the start or the end or anywhere in between. I just want to help my subscribers get into the mindset to make their fitness, their level of fitness and their routine match their goal, which is the problem, which is often what I see doesn't happen even if they're already into fitness. That's all I'm here for. When it comes to nutrition and form, you're gonna see some bad form, I'm sure somebody already has. When it comes to nutrition, fitness, stuff like that, there are people that I trust that know a whole lot more than me that I'm going to talk to you guys about soon, because the internet is a vast source of information and 80 or 90% of it is bullcrap. So, as always, be wary of the wolves in sheep's clothing. Strong mind, be hard to kill. Thank you for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments section below, and God bless.